Okay, thanks, Nicole, for having me. Hi, everyone. How are you? I hope everybody's doing great. My name is Hazrin, and I am the founder of HZ Creative Works. And my company, mainly we do graphic design, digital marketing, and website development. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to proceed to the topic that I want to talk about today, which is Elementor for everyone. So honestly, just a disclaimer, I am not Elementor representative. I am a consumer, and I just want to share with you my experiences of using Elementor. It has helped me so much in website development, and also it's very easy. And I think if you have interest in it, it's a lot easier for you to just like, you don't really need like basics of coding, and it's pretty much just like drag and drop, but it comes with more customization and it allows you to have a very professional looking website. All right, so let's proceed. Uh, I want to share with you some of the useful plugins to spice up your Elementor. There are a few that I use, and I think it helped me so much in spicing up my Elementor because it has its benefits and it add up more features to your website and to your Elementor. So the first one is Elementor Pro. This one, of course, it comes with a price. I'm not going to talk about the price. You guys can check them out later. But I like using this because it gives more features because the basics one is good enough. But if you want to add more like a slideshow or some other features, it would be good for you to have this. But also, it depends on your preferences. If you just want to build a basic website for information, let's say, or just want to build a very simple looking and you don't want to cost so much on building the website, you want to lower down your cost, I don't think it's necessary for you to have it. Even the basic Elementor itself would help. And then the next one is Elementor header and footer. I like this one. It's because it standardized my menu and my footer on all pages, meaning to say I don't have to readjust on each pages. I just adjust once, and then it will standardize on all of the pages that I have set. And it's free. And the next two is essential add-ons and premium add-ons. It's like, it's not really like Elementor Pro, but it comes with additional features as well, and it's free. So you guys can check that out as well. And it seems to help me more. For example, if I don't have the features from the Pro or from the basics, I can refer to the essential add-ons or the premium add-ons, which is also a good plugin. Okay, so before we start designing our website with Elementor, of course, you need to structure your website. There is a flow of how you want to get started with it. So the first one is the website structure. So you need to have the architecture and the basic baseline before you build your website. This is the example that you guys can refer on, which is the homepage, and then you can have the contact, and then the blog is related to etc etc, and then you have your products. So pretty much you need to know first what do you want in your website. And also this would be great for SEO onwards, for you to do the I'm not going to talk about the SEO, but this would be very helpful for Google to crawl into your website. Okay. And then the next one is the website functionality. You have to know what is the usage and what is the purpose of your website, whether you want to make it for information or you want to do it for blogging. And some wants to do like e-commerce. And yes, you can have an e-commerce website using Elementor as well, which requires one add-on plugin, which is WooCommerce. But I'm not going to talk about that today. But yes, you can do that. Or maybe you want to have a user member kind of features, or log in, log out features, membership features. It's up to you. So you have to know the purpose of your website. Okay. So without further ado, I'm gonna get started with some of the tutorial and demo of how to use Elementor. So let's start designing. Okay, so once you have logged into your WordPress, you have to install Elementor, of course, and some other additional plugins if you want to. And if you want to subscribe to the Elementor, yes, you can do that as well. So I believe that most of you already know how to install the plugins, so I don't really have to share that, right? So let's proceed to the website structure and how you can start developing with menus first and then the designing next. So you have to go to your pages and you have to put the, before you want to do the menu, of course, you have to have the pages first in order for you to add the pages into your menu. So I have created mine, just basics, and I want to create another one, which is contact, for example, and publish it. So these are all of the pages that I have. Okay, so I just want to share with you a bit. If you're very new to Elementor, you might want to know the differences. For example, for this one, as you can see, it's Elementor. That means it's already integrated with Elementor, and this one doesn't have. That means I haven't edited that page with Elementor. So what you have to do is just go to Edit, and then go to Page Attributes, and then click this one, click Elementor Canvas and update. But if, let's say, you forgot to do that before you start editing with Elementor, it's all right. You can just simply go to Edit with Elementor, which means you're going to get started with the designing. And then you go, hold on. You go to Settings over here. By the way, I have set up my menu and my header and footer, but don't worry, I'll show you that later. You can just go to Settings, Page Layout, and click Elementor Canvas. And then if default, it will look like this. Hold on. My line's a bit slow. Oh, wait, it's still the same. Okay, but usually it will show the WordPress kind of layout, which is the theme. So you just change to Elementor Canvas and then update your website. Okay, as I mentioned previously, I want to show you how to create your menu first. I think that would be important for you to have the basic structure of your website before you start the design, so that you know how to place your design onwards after you have the footer and the header. I like to do it that way, but it's up to you. If you want to design your website first and put your menu, your footer and header next, it's also up to you. But I'm just going to proceed with the header and footer first. Okay, so before that, you have to go to Appearance, and then you go to Menus. I'm going to create a new one. Delete this one. And then, okay, so they have the ready-made structure already, but you can change that later onwards, or you can add a new one also can. But this one is the ready-made ones because I've deleted that one, so they have made it easier for me. So I want to change that one to menu, and then I want to remove this one. These are the posts and the pages. You can add it to your menu. So for example, I want to add, I already have it all. They added everything to me. If let's say you don't have it, you can just simply click and add to menu. So you see there's double. And if let's say you want to make it as a sub menu, you can just drag it down here just a bit to the right, and then you will have the sub item. But I don't want that. I just want everything to be aligned. I want the home to be on top, about, last one, contact, and blog. So create menu. All right, once you're done with your menu, you want to go to Appearance, and then you search header, footer, and blocks. If I'm going too fast or whatever, please tell me, all right? Okay, so I have the header and footer already, but I'm going to show you a new one. So just add new, and you'll be redirected to this. I'm going to put menu 2 since I already have the first one. And then type of template, you click header, which is menu, which is the upper ones, and the footer is the bottom one. And then display on, I want to display my menu on entire website. The best part about this plugin is because you can just simply show it on a certain website that you want, or maybe certain posts, and it has a lot of you know, your own preferences that you can edit based on what you need. And you can add display rule or add exclusion. Example, do not display on specific pages. So just put the name of your page, for example, like home, and then so that this menu won't appear on the page that you chose. But I don't really need that. And then user roles, I don't have any features like membership or whatever. So I don't really need to use this. But if you have any membership features, you can click that. For example, you want logged in users to see some type of menu, and logged out user you want to give another menu. So it's up to you. But since in my case I don't have it, so I don't really need to take on that one. And then you enable layout for Elementor canvas and template. So you can edit the menu and the footer using Elementor. So, and then just publish that. Okay, so once you're done, you can edit with Elementor. Okay, so this is, even though the website for designing your pages, it looks exactly the same. Even for the menu, just edit the upper one, which is one section, and don't go design the below, because if not, if you put another pages or another structure, it will pretty much show on another page. So this one is just for the menu side, and the footer you have to do for another one. You cannot combine both. So add one here, select your structure. I'm going to go with 1. And then usually on the top, I like to put image, or you can put logo. But I have my logo in image format. So I'm going to go with this one. And this one is too big. So you just go to style, and then you can adjust how big you want it to be. And this should be nice. And then you have to also make sure you know that the view for desktop, tablet, and mobile are different. So you have to click for tablet, and this is how it looks like on tablet, and this is how it will look like on mobile. I think it's a bit too small, so I want to make it a bit bigger. And yep, that's your logo for the top one. And then you want to go and search for a menu. You put the navigation menu here. Okay, and then I like to align it to be stretched so that it fills my page. So it will look like this. And then you can put some animation, whether you want to fade or you want it to slide in. And the pointer, you can either put underline, overline, or background, which it changes the color. I want to go with underline. And then I can change the style, of course. You can change the typography. My favorite one, I would say, would be Poppins. And you can adjust the size of how you want it. I think 15 should be okay. And then the weight of your font, Can adjust that as well. And this one, the style, normal, italic, or oblique, it's up to you. I think that should be fine for me. So the text, I want it to be in black. Oh, by the way, for the color of your website, it uses hex. So if, let's say, you're not sure which color you want to use, I want to share with you one website which is helpful for me, which is htmlcolorcodes.com, that you can get the colors that you want, like Coral, and you just copy the code and paste it here. So you see, it looks just like how you want it. And it's very helpful because using this, it can be a bit tricky sometimes. And you don't really get the accurate color that you want, unless if you want to mess around with it. But I would prefer you to use this because so that your website color is systematic and it pretty much helps for branding. So I want to stay with black. Okay, and then for hover, you want to change the color when you hover to the button, to the menu you want to change. For example, I think I'd like to go with this color again. So when it hovers, it changes color to another. But or if you don't want to change the color of the text, you just want to change the color of the pointer, yes, you can do that as well. Also, it's up to you. So this is how it looks like when I change it. And you want to set up when it's active. That means when you click on home, you want it to have different color. So if it's active, I want to put this color and a pointer on this. So you will see the difference later. I'll show you. And this is how the menu will look like for desktop view. But you have to adjust it also for mobile because it's different. This is how it looks like on mobile. So I want to adjust, I want it to be center instead of aside. And then I want to change the font. And you need to know that when you adjust for desktop, it doesn't mean that it will change on how your view from mobile will look like. So you have to go through each of this to make sure that it looks perfect. Because, you know, we all know that the desktop view and mobile view is different. So you have to adjust accordingly. So I think with the drop down. The main menu, this one, the upper ones, is actually for desktop. So you have to go to the drop down. So you have to change it again. That is where you see the difference. As you see previously in the main menu, you don't see the difference. It is actually for the desktop. So you have to go to the drop down and change the color. Okay, hold on. Okay, I think that should be perfect for now. And you can change the, I don't think you need that. All right. So that is it for the menu. And just click update. If you don't want your menu to be in white, there are two differences between these feature, which is up top here for the structure, and these feature as well. These all come with different adjustment. For example, if you want to change the whole structure of this big box, you click this one, edit section, and then you change the color, and then it will change all. But if you click only on this one, it will only change the color here. As you can see, the borders here don't change. So there are slight differences. And also, I go back to the section. If you don't want your menu to just be in color, you can put gradient. You can put video, but the video only works on desktop and not on mobile. Or you can also put an image. For example, I want to put this. So your menu comes with an image. Wait, this one just now, it's because I put color. So make it transparent, and there you go. Okay, but I want to put it white. I don't want to put any image because I don't have any suitable image. It kind of fades away my menu. So go back to section, and I'm gonna delete this one. So update. And then once you're done with the menu, you can go back, exit to dashboard, and you have to create your footer next. So you add new, and then footer, and name it whatever you want. Mine is footer 2, and then click footer and display on entire website, and click this one, enable layout for Elementor, and publish. Okay, so for the footer, it's the same like menu, just different looking. You edit with Elementor, and then you click on the structure. Depends on how many structures you want. And I want to make my menu, my footer, sorry, to this color. And I want to put my logo here, down here. And insert. And then you can put any other, you can put text if you want, you can put, if you have an office, you can put your address there, etc. Or even you can put Google Maps there. Just for example, I want it to be, you can adjust the sizing. I don't want it to be so big. In this one, I'm going to put in white and center. Okay, this is just a rough sketch. I don't want to take a long time of doing this because I'm afraid I don't have enough time to show the rest. So just update that. And then exit back to dashboard. So this one is where you start designing your entire website, which is the pages. So go to pages and then go to home. If you haven't integrated your page with Elementor, like I said, you just go to edit, change to Elementor canvas, and then edit with Elementor. All right. As you can see, this is the menu that we created just now. And all you have to do next is just insert your design, your information for your website. And by the way, I want to show you the differences between basic and the pro and essential add-ons. The plugins that I suggested just now, these are the basics. So if you use Elementor Basic, it only comes with this. But to me, if you just want to have a basic website, this should be enough. But if you want to have the Pro, it comes with more like login features. It has price table, it has countdown, and a lot more. So, and the essential add-ons also come with more features like these. These are the free ones. EA, which is essential add-ons, also comes with the Pro. So this one are the locked ones. You can upgrade that if you want. Team member, progress bar, etc. And also the premium add-ons also comes with additional plugins features like Corosal, team members, progress bar. So that's why you have to know the functionality of your website so that you know what to put into your website, the content and the features. Okay, so if you want to build your website from scratch, you don't want to use the ready-made ones, you can select the structure of how many sections you want. You can put 2. For example, for the top one, I want to put video. This one, you don't have to upload any videos. You just upload on YouTube, or you can just actually put any videos that you want, even if it's not your own. just insert the link here and it will display the video. And then you can also set whether you want it to be autoplay, you want it to play on mobile, you want to mute it first. It depends on your your preferences. Or you want to loop it, also you can adjust that. And then I want to put some text editor and put that. Okay, so as far as you can see, this is how my website will look like. And for example, some people, they want full view. As you can see here, we have like white borders at the left and the right. So you just have to go to the section and then stretch section and put full width. As you can see, it will be larger compared to the previous one. So for me, myself, sometimes I have lack of time, or maybe I'm a bit lazy. I don't want to build from scratch. I can use the ready-made template, actually, which comes in handy. You just go here to the pages, and then if you have Elementor Pro, you can use the Pro ones. But you can scroll down, by the way, because some of the Pro and the free are mixed up. So, like, in the midst of the Pro, you can find one free like this. You can find the free ones in the below. So you just scroll and go through. I'm just going to show you the free ones. So, for example, I insert this one. This is taking a bit of time. Okay, there you go. This one would be much easier. You just change the content. You don't have to structure the website all over again because they have made it for you. And for example, you just want this one, but you don't want this one. You don't like this one. You don't need that for your website. You just click X for this one, just delete. So you just leave the ones that you want. So just take which one and delete the ones that you don't want. Okay, so just for example, I want some of this in my website. So all I have to do now is just change it to my brand, my product. So to change this is actually the background. So you have to edit from the section and then go to style and then click image and then choose the image you want. I'm gonna put this. And I want to put my logo here. So click this one. There's difference between editing this one and this one. This one is for the content, which is the inside. This one is for the structure of the content, the column. So I want to change the logo, so I have to click this one, which is the, what is it called? The features inside. So this is the image, and I want to change it to my logo, for example, and insert. So you can change the size here, and there you go. So this is how it will look like on your desktop. And then, like I said, again, you have to be aware of mobile. Sometimes tablet looks so much like desktop, so I don't have much to worry upon tablet, but I just worried a bit about mobile because mobile is a lot more smaller. But for this one, you don't really have to adjust that much. But as this one, you might want to change a bit for the font. It might appear a bit smaller. So you just have to change the sizing here. Perhaps I want it to be bigger on mobile. And that's how it looks like on mobile. And then for the next one, for example, you want to change this one. So you have to edit one by one. So this section, you want to change, oh, this is the space here. You want to change this one. Wait. I couldn't find this one. The image here. Okay, so for this one, actually, I don't know why it says space here. It should be like a carousel or slideshow. I cannot edit the image. But for this one, for the video, I can. So this one, you can put the image overlay and change the video to the content that you want to put in. And you want to change the text here also can. And for example, you don't want 3 of this, you just want 2, or just leave it to 1. You just delete that. And that's how your section will be. And same goes to the next and next one. Okay, I think that's about it for the ready-made template. Okay, so for example, right, as you can see, back to the, if you want to build from scratch, like the structure, using the structure, as you can see here, the space is kind of cramped, and you have it's very close and near to the menu, and it's very near to the next content. You want your design to breathe. So just go to the section, and then you go to advanced. Here is where you can adjust the margin. Don't link the values together because it will pretty much affect the top, right, bottom, and left. You want it to be, you don't want, sometimes the amount for the top, bottom, and left and right are not the same. So I don't suggest you to do that. So just go to padding. And then the top, for example, I want to add 30. So as you can see, it has more space here. And then the bottom, I also want to add 30, or maybe 40. So that your design is not cramped to one another. It has more spacing. And for example, the gap here is a bit too near. I want to add like 20 here for the right, and then 20 for the left. So it has more space and your website is not cramped. And it just allows your design to breathe. And if you want to change your content to another color as well, just like the menu before, you just click to the section and you can put the image or the color that you want, like this. You can also put video, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you can put videos. But just so you know, video does not really work as a background on mobile, only on desktop. So, and also you can put image, or you can make it gradient as well, as you can see right there. And also, usually for some companies, they like to put slideshow on top of their page. So just click this one, just add this one, and add the structure. Choose one, and then you can drag this one. It is called Corosal. Sorry, Corosal. So I'm going to drag this one in, and then I can put the images that I want, just for example. And this one is a bit small. You want it to be full size. So you change the image size to full, and then the slideshow to 1, because we just want to focus on one image. Or this is not the one. Wait, I'm gonna give the accurate size so that you'll see how it looks like on desktop. Wait, not this one. Wait, where's the image? Okay, gallery. I want this one, the long one. Add to gallery. Delete this one. Okay, insert. So you see this one is the full view of the image, because this also when you are designing your website, you need to know the size that you are putting in, because and sometimes you have to edit like one for desktop and one for mobile because of the different sizing. So I don't like this one because it's not full. So I want it to be full on my page. So again, you have to click here on this edit section, stretch section, and then full width. So as you can see, your Corosal is a lot bigger now. And if you see for this one, um, the mobile view is different. I don't think that it looks nice on your mobile to have a small image. So this is something that I would do, which is I would hide this section from my mobile. So just go to advanced. You don't want to show this on your mobile because you want to create another one for your mobile. So go to advanced, and then you can go to responsive and hide on mobile. So this will not appear on your mobile. And I forgot to tell you, if you go to advanced, you go to motion effects, you can have the entrance animation. For this one, you can put fade in. It has a lot. You can put bounce in. Depends on you. So I'm just going to do bounce in. And then as you can see, since we already hide it from mobile, when you click mobile down here, the responsive mode, it will turn out to be black and white. That means you cannot edit this and it will not appear on your mobile. So you want to create another section for Corosal for your mobile view. So at this one, put one structure and put Corosal and drag that one again. The process is the same, just that you put different image sizing to fit in for your mobile. For this one, this is the mobile view that I've made, only 2. And then insert gallery, still quite small, I don't really like it. And then I go to edit section, stretch section again, full width. In this one, click here. I want to change to full, and there you go. So my image is a lot bigger. And slide to show just one, slide to scroll just one, because I want them to focus on one image per scroll. And then the navigation arrow and dots, whether you don't want to put the arrow, it's fine. It's up to you, or you can put none if you want. So it just simply scrolls, but it's not clickable. To me, I like to put the navigation so that people can click and go through. And additional options, you can put autoplay, pause on hover, infinite loop, and then you can go to style. You can customize that one. All of the all of the features inside this, like these or the image, you can adjust the style, the video sizing, and then if for the Corosal, it comes with different adjustment. And that is one of the reasons why I love Elementor. It allows me to customize. And then you can put the arrow inside or outside based on your likings. But you need to know, when you do for mobile, you need to hide from your desktop, because you don't want that to appear on your desktop and just want to appear on your mobile. And I will hide it from tablet as well, because tablet view is quite similar to desktop, and that's the reason why I don't really worry so much when it comes to the tablet view, because it's just the same except for the menu. The menu on tablet, most likely it looks like mobile, but the content inside, it looks like desktop, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, so just example, I'm going to publish this and I want to show you how it looks like when you're done. So preview changes. And this is how it looks like on the desktop. And this is your content as I made just now. And if you want to look, you want to see how it looks like on your mobile, you can just inspect. and this will look like on tablet, and you can change this to, this is how it looks like on your phone. So I think that's it for now. Do I have any question? Oh wait, why is it like that?
Hey, Hasreen. Yep, you do
Yes.
have a few questions. Do you want to take it? Take the questions now?
Yes, of course.
Yep. All right. Okay, so let's start with the first question from Nick. So the question is, he is
Mm-hmm.
using Hive listing theme that found on WordPress, then also
Mm-hmm.
added some plugins on WordPress and activate it, those theme plugins. So when
Mm-hmm.
he's starting to add pages where Elementor, they find out that some feature that added in the theme cannot be added via Elementor, but they also can see those widgets on Classic. What can he do?
What can he do? Okay, so
Yep.
basically, for Elementor, it will pretty much vanish the WordPress Classic theme. You know, so pretty much you are just uh, what you have made for the Elementor, sorry, what you have customized on WordPress will not be shown on Elementor. So Elementor is a different entity that will pretty much separate what you have created on your WordPress, and you have to recreate again using Elementor. It's like, how do you say it? You cannot really migrate, but you have to create another one. And what you have made on WordPress will not be shown on Elementor.
All right. So I hope this answer your question, Nick. If it is the answer that you are now looking for, please elaborate more to us so that we can help you. So the second question
Mhm.
is from Serena. If you have already installed a WordPress theme on your site and already using pages from the theme and subsequently want to create a standalone pages or microsite
Mhm.
without using the theme child's pages, can you use Elementor as a plugin to design the other pages on the same site?
Yes, you can. That means you want to use Elementor only on one website. Is it like a standalone? Am I right?
Yeah, he mentioned that want to create a standalone website using Elementor, but it still be on the same website. Like I guess this is what she meant.
Yes, you can.
Yep.
As I mentioned previously, can I show back my screen? Hold on.
Yep. Yeah, you can share your screen now.
Okay. You can go back to the dashboard. Wait. Go to pages and all pages. As you can see right here, these two, I have used Elementor, and this one, for example, I don't want to use Elementor. I just want to use like WordPress Basic, for example. You can just go to edit, and you don't have to edit with Elementor if you want to, but wait, how am I supposed to say this? For example, just once again, um, if you have used other like WordPress to edit your website, and you want to just use one page for Elementor, you just use edit. You just go to edit and edit with Elementor. So only for that page we'll be using Elementor, and then the rest it will not change. You get what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can just use it on certain pages. For like this one, I have used Elementor, and this one I have not. And yes, it shouldn't be a problem. That means you dedicate Elementor only for a page.
All right. Oh, Serena mentioned that. Thank you so much. That's very helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So our next question is, hey Hasrin, can we embed link on the Corosal image? Means that when user click the image, it will direct user to other page. Thank you.
Yes, yes, you can. For example, okay, I'm gonna show my screen again. Hold on. Okay, for the carousel, this one, right? You click that one, and then you want to put link to media file or custom URL. Yes, you can do that. Make sure you put the link in here. And then when you click the image, when the user click the image, it will redirect to another link. But for example, you don't want to redirect to a link. You want to just let them have a bigger view of the file. So just click media file, so that when they click the image, they will open up the big picture like this. So I think that helps. Am I answering to your question?
All right. So we have also another relevant question from Nicholas. He is asking, can I put the logo beside the header? I guess it's supposed can, right? With Elementor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Yep. So we have another question from Nicholas at the chat box. What about database? Nicholas, can you elaborate more on your question so that we can, know what exactly are you looking for, so that Hasrin can answer and help you?
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, thank you so much, Hasrin, for your sharing. I
No
guess it's a
problem.
very detailed one. So guys, if you guys
Thank
have
you.
any questions, just feel free to throw in the questions. So because we still have time left out. So yeah. So Hasrin,
All right. Thank you.
what is the things that you are ongoing now? What's the any big projects that?
So
Hi.
far, nothing.
Yeah, I can.
Yes.
Yep.
Is there any new question?
No.
So far, nothing much for now. I'm just doing website and delivering graphic for clients and running digital marketing. Nothing big that much.
Okay. So, oh yeah, we have a question from Nicholas. Do I have to generate a database? For example, I create a search bar and the data to be generated.
For the search, is it? I'm not really quite sure when it comes to database for search bar, because usually if let me just see if they have the, because usually if I put the search, I don't need to put any database. They will already made for me, and then I can just edit it on the style or the advanced, I think, and I don't need to insert any database or generate any database. So yeah.
Okay. So I guess there's no more questions for now, but perhaps Hasrin, you can provide some summaries or advice for those who want to get started with their WordPress, with Elementor or with other teams. What are the steps or any advice for them to actually decide which one to go to?
Okay, so I have tried any other plugins, and I think Elementor comes really in handy for beginners. And also, if you don't really get to catch up with my tutorial, please know that there are so many free tutorials on YouTube that you guys can refer to, and you can even do more than what I have shown you. So yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Harry, for your sharing once again. So
All
if you
right.
guys are looking for the video recording, yes, we do record this session and we will share it to you after the webinar ends. So thank you, Hasri. I have to let you go now.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
See
you
you
so much.
again.
All right. See you again. Bye
Bye.
bye. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.
All right.
All right, so now let's us jump into our second session today. The topic is SEO Basic with Yoast SEO. This session will show you how you can leverage the power of SEO to do some heavy lifting for you. Let's welcome our speaker, Teco Wenderscott from Yoast. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it wasn't early morning this morning, but I was happy to catch Hasrin's talk as well.
All right, so if you're ready, maybe we can set up the screen now. Yep.
Yep. Let me set up the sharing. There we go. And then all the chats have to go everywhere because otherwise you can't see my screen and neither can
I
I.
can see it.
So
all right,
this
so Taco, you have
better.
30 to 40 minutes for your presentation, then followed by the Q&A. So I will be assisting you the Q&A.
Perfect. That sounds very good.
Thank you.
All right. Let me quickly do all the rearranging on the screens because that always takes a bit of time. I will try to keep my eye on the chat in the meantime so I can answer your questions right as they come in. But if I miss any, don't worry, there will be a Q&A section at the end. So we'll be able to get all your questions answered. All right, Yoast SEO. A plugin very dear to my heart. I've been working at Yoast for the past 7.5 years, and I've mostly been involved with the support team at Yoast. So if you ever reached out to the company, it's very likely that someone on my team answered your question. In the early days, that would be me. Later on, we grew a team of support engineers, and there's now over 30 support engineers at Yoast. So that's pretty amazing in just a few years. Today, I will take you through some basics. So I will focus on some SEO basics and how to do that in the Yoast SEO plugin. And I really hate disclaimers, but I love giving you tips and hints. So anything and everything I will tell you today will be pretty fast because we only have like half an hour to 40 minutes. If you want to learn more about Yoast, about SEO, about WordPress, there's the Yoast SEO Academy. If you go to yoast.com/academy, that's where we have a lot of courses available, free ones and paid ones. And you should be able to learn all the things you need about both WordPress and SEO. Okay, that said, we're going to focus on a single search engine today. And I'm focusing on Google because, well, it is the biggest. Worldwide, Google has about 90% market share. And I've been looking into their market share in Malaysia, and it's even 98%, which means that most people, the far majority of people, use Google to search for information. So if your target audience is in Malaysia, it's very likely that you want to look at all the tools that Google provides to give you insight into your website. However, if you have a very specific audience or you're targeting another country, do look into other search engines because maybe you'll need their information as well to reach your customers. But for today, we'll mostly be looking at Google. And when we're talking about Google, we have to realize what it wants, because SEO means search engine optimization. It also means seriously effortful optimization, because it's not a thing that you can set and forget. It has to be on your mind all the time when building your website. And in order to get the best result, to rank the highest in Google, you need to know what Google needs, what Google wants from you. And what Google wants is, well, it sounds very easy, because their mission is to organize the world's information and to make it universally accessible and useful. And that means that if you want your website to rank, you need to have a website that is well organized, that has information, that is accessible and is useful. And at Yoast, we've translated that into a strategy. And I'll talk about that in a bit. So, Yoast SEO, our mission is SEO for everyone. Where WordPress wants to democratize publishing, Yoast aims to democratize SEO. So that means it's not just SEO for the people who can afford very expensive consultants. It's SEO for everyone. Whether you have a small website, whether you're just getting started, or whether you're this big brand that's been out there for ages. And that's also why all the features that we think your WordPress site absolutely needs in terms of SEO will always be in our free plugin. Everything your site really needs for SEO will always be free. Yes, we do have a premium product, and I'm very happy to show you a few of the premium features today in the presentation. But the premium features are mostly aimed at saving you time and money. And that means it becomes interesting as soon as you start making money with your website. And I'm not trying to keep all of you from purchasing our premium product, because in the end, we do need the income, because, we have over 100 people in our company and we really need to pay all their salaries. But if you're just getting started, start with the free one. If you're growing, then go premium and save yourself some time. All right, with that said, I told you we'd come to a strategy. And at Yoast, we've called that holistic SEO. And holistic SEO is improving all the important aspects of your website to make it rank higher in the search engines. It's not having the best content and that's it. It's not just having the best site structure and forget about the rest. All the things on your website need to be top notch. Because in the end, you need to satisfy Google, which means that you need that information. You need an accessible website and make the information accessible, and you need to have a well-structured website. But there's more to that. The technical SEO is important. The writing is important. The quality of your writing, the structuring, the user experience, and also keeping your site secure. A lot of it, especially when it comes to site speed, starts with a good host. And well, you came to the right place, because I'm very sure that Exabytes can help you there. But let's talk about what your site looks like in Google. I've created a few examples, took a few screenshots of search results. And we'll talk about that first so that we have a clear understanding of what we want to optimize. The first result, well, I've never been to Malaysia. So I wanted to know what there is that I can do sightseeing. So sightseeing places in Malaysia. These are some of the top results that I got. Mind you, search results in Google are personalized. So it's very unlikely that we'll see the same result, because they're based on a lot of factors. But for me, this is what I got. And what you see here is a lot of blue links, is a lot of descriptions, and is a few dates and breadcrumbs, the pretty version of the links to the pages. So let's dive into detail on one of the results. This looked particularly interesting. I've never visited, so I wanted to know more about this temple. And what you can see here is the URL of the page. You then have a title and a meta description. And by default, this is all Google gives you to convince your visitor, your potential customer, to click on your link and go to your site. So that is why it's important to think about optimizing your titles and your meta descriptions, because it's this little piece of text that's going to either get you traffic or get people to skip your page and not visit it. So how do you do that in Yoast SEO? Well, you can do this per post, per page, per custom post type, and there will be a Google preview, and it will show you what it will look like. And here I've set it to the mobile result. As you maybe know, Google indexes mobile first nowadays, so you should care most about what it looks on mobile, and after that, check if it still works on desktop. And you can set the SEO title. and you'll see these maroon items, and they are placeholders, they're variables. And you can play with those variables to have your title generated automatically. You can set defaults for every post type, but you can also play with them on a per post or per page base. So what I did is make a combination, and I said, hey, I want to learn all about the Keklok Seed Temple. I'm probably butchering the name. I'm sorry about that. I have a separator, and this is my exabyte demo site. Well, the publish date, this tells you when I took the screenshot, because that was when I was editing the page. You'll see the date in here, which shows on most sites, as you could see in the earlier result. You could see that quite a few have a date as well. You have the slug, which is the URL of your website, and there is the meta description. And you'll see green or orange bars to give you an indication whether your title and meta description is of sufficient length or whether it's too long. Because if it's too long, it will be cut off by Google, and you're not making the most of the space that Google gives you. If it's too short, you're also not using the space well. Because remember, this is all you have to convince people to visit your website from the search results. So you really want to spend time thinking about these. And then maybe your website gets shared a lot on Facebook, on Twitter. So let me show you. Well, you see something went wrong with the titles here, because this is obviously a Facebook preview, not a Twitter preview. But this is where you optimize, where you specify for Twitter. So for Facebook, I'm sorry. So you can set a separate image to show when your page is shared on Facebook. You can set a separate title when your page is shared on Facebook. You can set a separate description when your page is shared on Facebook. And that is because probably your audience in Facebook is slightly different than your audience in Google. Facebook allows you to use more characters to describe your page. So make use of that and customize. And well, we have the same for Twitter, but I kind of messed up with my screenshot, so I'm sorry about that. But we have a very similar looking page where you can do the same for Twitter, because as you know, Twitter is an entire different ecosystem. Maybe you have different customers or different clients visiting your or sharing your page on Facebook than on Twitter. So this is the basics, the blue links. But after that, you can go further. There's more that you can aim for, and that's what we call rich results. So that's more than just the URL, the title, and the meta description. I'll give you a few examples. For example, if you have a location, you can have this knowledge graph, which appears on the side in Google. And it gives you information on a place, but it will also include ratings from different locations. So in this case, it uses Google reviews. It pulls information from Wikipedia about your location. It allows people to quickly navigate using the directions button. And there's even a call option so that they can easily reach out. And this works for sightseeing, but it works for more. It also works for companies, for example. And you can see I took the knowledge graph that I saw for Exabyte, and it pulls some information. It shows the social media profiles for the company. So it's very easy for me to get to their LinkedIn page or Instagram page. You can also see the URL, obviously, when it was founded and some of its subsidiaries. But there's more. The more you do, the more information you provide to Google, the more will show in that knowledge graph. But it doesn't just work for locations or for companies. It also works for people. So take an artist. This is the knowledge graph. So again, it's the box appearing on the side next to the search results for a famous artist. I think she is currently in the hit parades in Malaysia. And it will give information about her songs. It will share her social profiles. And all of that data is provided by pages on the internet. And Google just accumulates and connects. Because making all the information in the world accessible means that Google has to understand the relation between bits and pieces of information. I've got another example of a rich result. And this is when I was searching for who is the CEO of Exabytes. And I hope it's correct, because Google says this person is the founder and CEO of Exabytes. And I'm sure Nicole can confirm that this is still correct. Yeah,
Yep,
I'm
yep,
happy
you
that
are.
it is. Thank you. But these type of questions are answered right within Google. So I don't even have to go to a web page to find the information. Google has understood what I wanted to know and already gave me the answer. And while this is a very straightforward question, Google can do the very same with harder questions and things you may have an FAQ for on your website. And it will just show the answer or part of the answer right there in the search results. And if that happens and it's not your site that shows up there, it's very unlikely that people will scroll past that answer and still click on your snippet and go to your website. So you want to have as many of these answers as you can. One of the other examples is reviews, because if you, and this is actually really nice because you can see that with 104 reviews, Exabytes was rated 9.3 on a 10-point scale. So that's very, very high. But this is also extra information that Google has acquired because someone provided it. And there's more. There's so many rich results, and I'm not going through all of them because there's really a lot. But this one is very interesting if you have a product, for example, a movie, because Google understands that, hey, you're looking for the Avengers movie, and there's 4 of them. So these are the 4 Avengers movies, and then I can easily click on to find which one is the one that I was actually looking for. And obviously that was Endgame because that was the most popular movie in Malaysia ever. So I was looking for that, but that Google didn't know yet. Now we also have a lot of people who have recipe websites. And that's another example of a rich result. Because if I'm searching for nasi lemak, the recipe, then I get a lot of recipes right in the search results, and they show up with a nice image. They show up with the duration it takes to make them, also reviews of that recipe. So all of this is rich results. And you want as many rich results for your website as you can. And there is one way to do it. There's one way to get that information. And that is called structured data. Because as smart as Google seems when you're searching, sometimes it's not as smart as it seems. Google is really unable to recognize basic information. If you have a recipe website and you're not specifically through structured data telling Google, hey, this is a recipe website and this is a recipe, Google doesn't know. It needs our help to understand what your web page is about. And there's a sort of common language. It's called schema.org. And Schema is created with a lot of companies together. Of course, part of it is Facebook, is Google, but there are quite a few other companies involved with that as well. And it's a language to describe what your web page is about. But more importantly, it allows you to connect pieces of information together. And this is where Yoast SEO is fairly unique, because it aims to connect all the pieces of information on your site into a single connected graph. And you don't have to manage a gazillion settings to do that. It's just the onboarding wizard, and then you're ready to go. So we made it as easy as possible. We set you up for success because we don't want you to have to think about all the different bits and pieces of structured data. And that's very different from a lot of other schema-related plugins or plugins that add schema to your site. And I'll show you an example. So I've created a page and used a very simple schema solution in WordPress, a schema plugin. And it results in this. And this means that there are 3 different objects on your site. And there is a corporation, and that has a logo, and that's an image. So Schema is able to get that. We have a website, and you can search on it. That it knows. And there's some site navigation thingy. But these are not connected. Now, the only thing I changed on this website was that I installed Yoast SEO and uninstalled this schema plugin. And then what you see, let me see where my image went, because it is, oh, right. No, there's a few steps in between. So what I did to get there is to complete the configuration wizard, because there's a step in the configuration wizard that there's a few steps, and they allow you to put in some of the most important data to generate this graph. So this is the most important step in the configuration wizard. And if you haven't run it in a while, please do run it again and make sure that the name of your organization, your logo, and your social media profiles are completely filled out. And if you have a Wikipedia URL, add it. If you have a YouTube URL, add it. If you have a MySpace URL, and I know MySpace isn't as popular anymore as it used to be, but if it's still there and it's still updated, add it. And if you don't have a MySpace, or you don't have LinkedIn yet, or you don't have Twitter, think about creating that profile, if only to secure your name on that platform so that not anyone else is going to use it. And then add it here, and we will help you out of the box to connect all the dots. You can also, if you're writing a specific page and you need to set up something specific, so there are a few settings for schema. You can find those in the meta box. Don't look at my readability settings for this page, by the way. It's horrible and it's a very bad example. But for schema, you can show you can adjust the defaults that you've set, but mostly the defaults will be correct. So unless you're doing something very specific on a page, go look through these. Otherwise, they will be correct. And then if you've done all that, you get a nicer result. And I know it looks a bit messy, but what you see now is that you have a single website, a single web page. And my page was called This is Product X. And you can see you have that search action connected. It's also connected to a person because someone was, this page was about a person. That person has an image, and that same website has the search action, and all of it is connected. And that connected part is very important because it means that you are helping Google understand what the relation is between all the elements on your page. As you can see the gray text here that says is part of primary image of page. So it's a relation between we have this web page and we have this image, and this is what connects them. And that is setting you up for success to get all those rich results in the search results, which means that if you have all of that, you will be more likely to be the search result that people click on. So you will get more visitors. Is it just about schema? No, because we want the holistic SEO experience. And holistic SEO means that you also have to have the best content. And the best content is more than just a very good text. It is also setting up for SEO success, which means linking, which means internal linking and external linking, which means all of the checks that you can find in the Yoast SEO plugin. But it also means having a readable text. And that's actually something very special, because if you've been writing for print media, or if you've been a book author, you've learned over time to use very elaborate language to really write nice long sentences to engage people in a way where they can read and read over and enjoy the text. Well, this is the internet. We're talking about writing for the web, and people on the internet have a very short attention span. They have small screens and they have blinding sunlight on their phones and on their devices. So if you write those long, elaborate sentences, and I've taken a nice example that I'm not going to read out loud, but just give it a try. Look at your screen and see what's happening here. How easy this is to read. Trust me, it's not. The book itself is amazing. Stuart Little, go read it. Brilliant novel. But this is a 107-word sentence. And that is not okay for the internet, because people are not looking for this long a text. They need short sentences. Their attention will be diverted because they're on their bicycle in traffic, or because they get distracted by someone getting their attention, or maybe they're on a bus and they're looking for the next stop and they have to look up and back to their screen. And with such language, such sentences, people will lose track and will stop reading. So you need short and concise sentences. By the way, if you think that this is long, my favorite example of long sentences is in a book by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It's called The Last Voyage on the Ghost Ship. and it has a single sentence of over 2,000 words. Well, that was most definitely not written for the internet. So how do you do that? Well, Yoast SEO sets you up for success because there's the readability analysis. And it will help you write all the right things. And you can see a screenshot where passive voice is correct. So you're using enough active voice because that's what's engaging to read. You have enough subheadings, which makes it easier and makes your text well structured. The paragraphs aren't too long. The sentences aren't too long. The only thing I could have improved in this text is to use more transition words because they help people understand the logic flow of a text. And all of these checks will be done for every post you write if you have Yoast SEO installed. You don't have to get all of them green. As you can see in this example, there's one still in orange, but the overall score at the top is still green. And that's what you're aiming for. That happy face, that's your goal. But again, it's not just about having that structured data and having the best text. You also need, and I love that Hasrin already touched on this in her presentation, you need to have a good site structure. Because if it is easy for your users to navigate your page, to understand the structure of your page, it will also be easy for search engines to go through your page and understand the content that's on there. And if the search engine is able to easily find all the pages on your site, well, that's what's needed for them to rank. And in the free version of Yoast SEO, there's a few tools that help you set up your site structure. There's the primary category that you can set, so your breadcrumbs are using the right categories. You can mark links as no follower sponsored as required by Google. And you can avoid duplicate content by setting the correct canonicals. And of course, there's the XML sitemaps. And yes, WordPress now has a basic version of the XML sitemaps as well. But trust me, the Yoast SEO version is still a lot more advanced and a lot more helpful. And then if you have Yoast SEO Premium, there's also internal linking suggestions. So we really help you find all the links within your page that make sense. Because especially if you've been blogging for a long time, you have 100 or maybe 1,000 posts. And how are you going to remember which ones you should link to from the posts that you are writing today? It's almost impossible, but this is something that machines are very good at. So you will see that the internal linking feature in Yoast SEO Premium suggests the top 5 pages that are related to the post that you're writing today that you should link to. And you can copy the links with an easy click on the icon, and it will show if you already linked to that page. So this really helps you set up your internal site structure. But there's more. We also have a few internal linking blocks, like the table of content block or the subpages and siblings blocks. And these will help your user understand your page better and the relationship, but they will also help Google because of those internal links that show how your site is connected. And then one of maybe the most powerful premium features is the redirect manager in Yoast SEO. It will not just allow you to do redirects. So if you delete a page, that you will be able to guide your user to the alternative page, but it will also remind you every time you change the URL of a page to say, hey, this one needs a redirect. And In most cases, it will even generate a redirect for you and just ask for confirmation. Is this correct? So it's really helping you keep that site structure healthy. But again, this is a topic that I could talk about for hours, just site structure. And if you want to know how you're doing, go look up the SEO fitness quiz on yoast.com, or take a look at Academy and follow the site structure course. There's one more topic that I wanted to touch before we get to Q&A, and that is some of the integrations that Yoast SEO has. Because the first one, and that's especially relevant today, is the integration with Elementor. Right from within your Elementor settings, so all the things that Hezrin just showed, you can also use Yoast SEO. And it will analyze all the content on the page. I'm sorry, this example is in Dutch because this is one of the sites that I'm working on outside of work. But this will show you all the things that Yoast SEO offers right within Elementor. So you don't have to leave the Elementor editor anymore to make sure that your pages are well optimized. And then if you publish your page, you maybe want to send out a tweet about it automatically, or you want to post on Facebook, or you want to remind your team in Slack that, hey, this page is now live. Or you want to publish to Pinterest or LinkedIn or any of the thousands of integrations that Zapier has to offer. And Yoast SEO now makes that possible. Whenever you publish a post, you can push that information to Zapier. And from there, you can use it to create multiple zaps and do all these things and automatically tell the world that you've just published a new post or page on your site. And then the last one, and I'm personally really fond of this one because it makes life so much easier. In Yoast SEO Premium, there's an integration with Semrush. And Semrush is a tool that helps you find key phrases, that helps you find the topics that are related to what you're writing about so that you can further optimize. And it even shows you the trend. So for the past 12 months, it shows how much the search volume was on that specific topic. And well, it's kind of sad to see that you can see COVID affect the search results because a lot less people have searched for how to get to the temple that we talked about earlier. So this is really the COVID effect on the related search. And you can do this, you can pull this information right from within your WordPress. You don't have to go to Semrush anymore and fill out all the things. Right there, when you're editing your post or page, you can do this, and Semrush will help you find all the related keywords that you need to rank for. So as I said a few times, everything you heard today, you can learn more in depth in the Yoast SEO Academy courses. And the good thing is that about half of them are free. So you go to yoast.com/academy, you click on the free courses, you create your Yoast account, and you have access to amazing free courses that will teach you about Yoast SEO, the basics of SEO, and the basics of WordPress. But if you are serious about your SEO and you're serious about your website, you really want to get the premium. And the fun thing is, it includes both Yoast SEO Premium, the plugin, and the Premium Academy courses to really set you up for success. So with that, let's do some questions.
Hey Taco, thank you for the detailed sharing. It was really amazing. So we have a few questions here. So the first one is
Yep.
which I would like to know about also. So he mentioned that hi Taco about the readability analysis. What about other languages such as Bahasa Malaysia? Because in Malaysia there's a multi languages. So wondering if Yoast Seo also enable with that.
Yeah, so that's a two-part answer. The first part is Yoast SEO is able to recognize most languages at the basic level, which means that if you enter your focus key phrase, which is the key phrase that you want that specific page or post to rank for, it will recognize if that exists literally in the text and do an analysis based on that. For the past couple of years, we've been working on creating extended support for more languages. And extended support means that we can recognize different word forms and that we really can go a bit more in depth. So, for example, if your focus key phrase would be dog, it would also recognize the plural, dogs. We currently don't have that yet for Bahasa Malaysia.
Okay.
So I wish that that would be the case, but we're adding languages one at a time. And yeah, our team of linguists, I think it's a team of 6 right now, is working on adding support for new languages all the time. So yeah, eventually we'll have extended support for Malaysian languages as well.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I hope this answers your question, Mio. So we have another question from Sam. What is the difference between the basic and premium, or any special feature in premium? I'm basic user.
Yeah. So first, congratulations on being a Yoast SEO user, because that already sets you up for success. As I said in the beginning, the main difference is that Yoast SEO Premium has a few features that will help you save time and money. So, for example, the redirect manager that I briefly talked about is in Yoast SEO Premium only, because you can do redirects in another way. You can do that through HD Access or through a different plugin or all of that. But we've integrated that in our premium plugin because that will save you time. You don't have to go elsewhere and think about how to do that. It's right from within your WordPress admin. The same goes for the Semrush and Zapier integration. Those are premium features because they will save you time. I mean, you can post to Facebook yourself after you've published a post. I get that. But it's a lot quicker and a lot easier if you can automate it. And maybe the most important part of Yoast SEO Premium is that it gives you access to our amazing support team who are ready to help you 24/7, all the days of the year. So if you have any questions on how to use Yoast SEO, you can just drop them an email. Soon, probably also live chat, but I'm not making that promise just yet. But yeah, that's one of the big benefits. And of course, you get access to all the premium academy courses.
All right. I hope this answers your question, Sam. So far, there's no other question, but guys, we still have a lot of times. So if you have any question, do drop off at the Q&A box or at the chat box there. So there's a little questions from me. So what is your suggestion, for those who just started their website? I mean, if they want to craft the content, should they go to Google and search for the high rank keywords on, or maybe how they can choose the right keywords for their business? Yeah.
Right. So that's a good question. One of the best examples here is car insurance. I'm not sure if that's a really big thing in Malaysia, but it most definitely is in the Netherlands. A lot of everyone needs car insurance, and the companies that offer that make tons of money, which means they are ready to spend tons of money on getting the first place in Google, on showing their ads, etc. So if you want to start a website about car insurance, you're competing at the highest level, and it's very unlikely that you'll be able to rank it well soon. However, if you are starting with so-called long tail keywords, so not the keyword car insurance, but maybe you're aiming for a niche. So car insurance for family cars older than 20 years. And you write about that. Because the traffic on that and the competition on that specific keyword is a lot lower, it's more likely that you will rank. And over time, if you use all those long tail keywords, you will set yourself up for success, and you can slowly build up to ranking for that very competitive keyword. So yeah, start in that long tail, and a very good tool to find the long tail keywords is to just search in Google and see all the suggestions that it gives, because those are all long tail keywords. And of course, use Semrush.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the answer. I guess this help a lot on the for those who have no idea how to choose their keywords and where to start off. So we have another cool questions from Pragash. Hello, Taco. Thank you for sharing. For the Yoast Academy SEO, does it comes with premium plugin as well for 1 year?
Yep. Yeah. So the Premium Academy and the Premium plugin are connected. So that's a single subscription, and that's an annual subscription.
All right. So followed by the question is one license is for one website, or is tagged to us can be used for more websites?
So every subscription is connected to a single website. Of course, if you buy in bulk, we'll add a nice discount right there in the checkout. You don't have to do anything for that. So if you're building websites for customers and you have 20 customers, we'll automatically give you a discount if you buy 20 Yoast Seo Premium subscriptions at once.
All right. So I hope this answers your question, Pragash. So I guess there's no more questions for now. So perhaps, Chaco, you can give some, a summary of how the SEO plays and etc. Yeah, for our users. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said very early in my presentation, SEO is seriously effortful optimization. It is not something you can set and forget about. It's something that you have to work on every day that you work on your website. Because your competition changes, Google changes, the world changes. So the information on your website needs to be up to date all the time. The technical optimizations need to be there all the time. And as I said before, it starts obviously with a very good host. Well, all of the people in the webinar know where to find you. So that's already a big part of having a proper site speed and having a properly secured website. But you can go beyond that, and you can start optimizing and tweak little bits and pieces to make your website faster and faster and faster. And you can focus on accessibility more to make sure that people who are not able to use a mouse can also navigate your site with a keyboard. And in fact, I would say that this is, or should at least be, a requirement for every single website you build. That it's that everyone's able to navigate it using just our keyboard. And continuing to optimize your site also means doing maintenance. And I know, I don't like to clean my house either. it's a lot of work, and you have to do it all over again. And it, especially if you have kids, they walk in with their dirty shoes, and you can start all over again. Your website is the same. It needs cleaning, it needs care, it needs work. And cleaning up is, for example, site structure. So thinking about your site structure, if you've written 1,000 posts, maybe you started your website thinking about this one topic, and you slowly drifted and you started writing more about the other. And over time, you will need to optimize your site structure and rethink your site structure to make sure that it's still in balance, and that you don't have this big piece of information on the one end and it completely draws your site out of balance. So yeah, SEO is all the time, is always, is never ending.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It's a never-ending things that we need to, keep it up on every day, every single day. Yeah, thank you so much once again, Taco, for your sharing and also your advice. The attendees definitely learned something from today. So thank you once again, and I will see you again next time. Bye bye.
I hope so. Thank you for having me.
Yep, stay safe. Take care.
Exabytes. Grow your business online.